Film Club. Riding along, singing a song next to a great big pylon. I bet 90% of my calls are made with nylon. Oh God, me heart's gonna stop. I hope, goddamn, me tires don't pop. Fucking mad as fuck.
Thank you for joining us for one more round. And
One more round.
welcome back to a very special Christmassy episode of Film Club.
I want to take it off now.
You put your hat back on. This week, as always, we have been watching a film and we invite you guys along at home to invite...
Carry on.
I have to carry on.
To film along with us. To watch
along with us. I'm sorry. It's been a long, long day. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the Christmas period. We've been watching a very Christmassy film in Die Hard. And apparently someone thinks he's in a L'Oreal advert.
Yeah, so what's Die Hard?
So every single week, obviously we invite you guys along to watch the film with us. I'm one of your hosts, Andy Harrison. To my right is L'Oreal model himself, Andy Donaldson.
Sup?
So, do you want to give us your quick 30-second breakdown of the story of Die Hard?
Bruce Willis.
Which I don't think it's ever been
ass.
30 seconds.
Tell us longer. Bruce Willis goes into a building, an office building, and he's there to meet his wife. But then an evil guy, there's a bit of fluff, called Hans Gruber comes into the office building with his group of people.
You're going to do this whole episode.
And Bruce Willis dies hard.
Oh, for God's sake.
He fights him. He kicks ass. I tell you what I sound like. I sound like Chris Evans from Scott Pilgrim.
You can do this episode on your own.
All right. So it's really good. So, Andy, what did you think was really good about this episode? Well, film. Well, I thought Die Hard was really good because it's really hard not having you there.
You get one more chance.
Do I?
Die Hard puns and I'm gone.
All right. It's really good because it's just Bruce Willis kicking ass.
Normally you that gets up and wanders around.
Kicking hard ass. No, it's...
I'm glad at least, hopefully at home, everybody's hammered over the Christmas period.
To us, yeah.
Is okay with this
we
terrible...
beer?
We are terrible right now. I'm sorry. We should get back on track. So Die Hard, right? The quintessential 80s film.
Yes.
Sorry, it's the quintessential 80s action film.
And what was brilliant about it, as I was saying, it's kind of like, it's essentially guerrilla warfare. It's Bruce Willis taking about 10 people or something. Is it 10? 8?
Yes.
And it's really cool because it was made in the 88, and you had films like Red Dawn with Patrick Swayze. It was about a group of survivors, and there's like an invasion of America, and it's really cool to see like this one guy take over on, which you said was something to do with westerns.
Yeah, like they very openly state what their influences are in this film, which is kind of odd, but like he makes reference to Rambo.
Yeah.
Like it's outright reference to Rambo.
Yeah, Rambo. So Rambo's a great example of how this film is like. Yeah.
And then Hans Gruber is always calling him cowboy because he thinks he's watched too many American films. And he is this is basically.
I'll put that note down.
This is basically the lone cowboy.
Oh my God! I'll put that note down. Go on.
This is the lone cowboy standing up to the gang, the evil gang that's coming to town.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I put that note down in the film. Oh, get in, mate. I'm so glad. But I said the irony of the statement, just another American who saw me too many movies as a child. And I was like, it's irony because he's in a movie and it's action himself.
Yeah, but the weird thing is, this is also one of those films which helped propel where
it's one of the biggest action films.
It's where cinema. This is the reason cinema got to the point where it got to.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, if you look at the development of cinema, this is why people love 80s action films. There's a whole cohort of people which absolutely adore 80s action films. It's because as cinema developed, we got better filmmaking techniques, we got better storytelling techniques, a more streamlined storytelling.
Better CGI for explosions and effects.
We got better with effects, and the 80s is kind of the pinnacle where
music.
We got to the point of understanding what to do with cinema to tell a story, how to go make a good action film, and it's before we started relying on CG.
Actually, that's a good point. Relying on CG. So back in these days, just to go on a bit of an off-topic in regards to the reliance on modern day technology and resources, let's use the word resources, stunts, would you have had stuntmen back in the day?
Yeah, stuntmen, stunt doubles. If I remember right, there's only two scenes, I think, in this film where there's some like CG trick imagery going on, where you know, like there's basically there's green screen going on. It's in the helicopter and the explosion, where it says that the explosion up the
top of the
lift shaft, the elevator shaft.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because it's even like
it's not too bad though, because it doesn't look dated.
Oh no, it's fine. And you know, like when he's got the hose wrapped around him, he's jumping off the building.
Yeah.
Remember, right? That's genuinely a stunt double, isn't it? Don't you see an actual explosion with a stunt double jumping?
Oh, that's pretty cool. I don't know.
So it's probably not. It's probably not like an actual roof of a building. Obviously, it'll be like a replica built somewhere. Yeah. But it's everything. Everything is grounded in it. And this is one of the things which I do really like about this film, which is that there's so much practical effects going on.
Yeah.
And there's such a mature level of action. Like he gets destroyed in this film.
There's so much blood. Yeah. The iconic bloody white vest.
Yeah.
It's like incredible. And it's funny you should say that about the it's very adult orientated, whereas films nowadays they tend to be a lot more watered. Well, not all of them tend to be watered down, but they do tend to be a bit watered down here and there.
They're held back in a lot of regard.
Yes.
Like, one thing always shocks me, total off topic tangent. Think of The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Pretty grim, pretty like the Joker is creepy, he's got quite a sadistic mind, he blows up a hospital, he kills all these people.
Yeah.
Not a single drop of blood in that film.
Yeah.
Not a single drop of blood in that film. Even when he snaps the pool cue and throws it to the guys who have to like fight for a place, when he puts a knife in someone's mouth and he slits the guy's mouth, there's not a single drop of blood in that film.
That's interesting. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
And yet you have something like Raging Bull where there's shitload of blood.
But black and white blood, like you pointed out.
Well, actually, I read that online. No, you're right. It's got a very adult theme towards it. And one of the things that just like a great example of, just going back to the Dark Knight reference there, is the Joker puts his head in a pencil. Like, that's a fucking sadistically gruesome scene. In this one, imagine that. That would set the tone of the film, for the Dark Knight. I have no faults with the Dark Knight, by the way. That would set the tone of the film.
I have some faults.
We'll do another time, obviously. But imagine if that scene was at the start of the film, yeah? For the Dark Knight, you'd be like, fuck, this is an intense film. This is like you were saying that before, quintessential action movie. Yeah. It's the start of all these like fucking huge action movies. Dude, like, it happens nowadays, probably because they're drawing influence from Die Hard. But back in those days, when did you ever see the president of the building, you know, the person he's going to hold him hostage, he gets shot straight away.
Yeah.
And that was so fucking good. Like, to me, that, like, watching it again, because I've always watched it with Dad and stuff like that, but watching it again, it was like, shit, this is actually jumps straight into the action. Like, it not only jumps straight in, but it jumps in with a mature kind of mindset. Yeah. And it's like, fuck, these guys aren't pissing about. And another great example is when that knobhead kind of stockbroker guy is like, oh yeah, I've got this sorted, you know, gets his fucking coat out, stuff like that.
And John totally knows what's about to happen.
I know. And I thought that was really, not just mature, but it doesn't like kind of like hand it over to you. It's just like, you know, you can see John's reaction. He's just like, get off the phone now, get off the phone. And
it's like, in a lot of ways, it's a really thoughtful film, because this is before action films got stupid. Like, action films and Fred, I'm sorry, like, not all of them, but action films more now are less intelligent than they were. This is action, but thoughtful action. We're not cutting all over the place because it's quick and fast and you don't see what's going on. The action is well choreographed. You always know where everybody is, what's going on. It's well staged. There's always like certain touchstones, so you know like where he is. Like, he keeps going back to
He keeps going back to the same place.
The room
like
with the
stairs.
poster.
And Oh, get in. I noticed that as well. Oh,
and like there's all these little touches to make you know whereabouts he is, geographically what's going on.
Yeah.
We don't get too close. We don't like see like shaky cam. This is really thoughtful action, and great example of this actually. Talking about the blood, there's the scene where they're in a firefight and Hans Gruber tells everybody to shoot the glass because he knows he hasn't got any shoes on.
Yeah.
So that's
really cool.
That's what caused him to crawl into the bathroom later on.
And he's like got bloody
with the
fuck feet.
Blood pouring everywhere. And like, it's because one, it demonstrates a level of sadism in Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
But also it shows a level of tacticality and thought to the action.
Which you don't see nowadays. You don't see that anymore nowadays.
You're completely right. There's so many things in this film where I was like, that's a really clever way of doing it. Like setting up something here to have it pay off. And he's not just shooting. He has to figure out how to get a gun. Yeah. There's a little bit of sadism from him when he sends the message back down in the lift with the guy who's dead.
But he's on the elevator.
Got a machine gun.
If you're in that situation, he's on the top of the lift, listening to them and getting the name.
Yeah. He goes and recons information.
Action. Yeah, and then he uses it back to them, and it makes them worried and it makes them panic a bit, which allows him to kill more. Which is, I guess, what you would doing kind of guerrilla. I wouldn't know guerrilla warfare. It's what you do it in it nowadays. But it's very intelligent. Like it's funny. Like the more you speak about this, the more I was thinking. You know when you're watching now we do film club. We're watching a film. It's like, oh, I'm gonna put that down as a note. I'll remember it later. The more you say this, the more I'm thinking, fuck. I know it's like the poster, like how you go around the building. The fact that he's gone in the elevator. Like in normal action film nowadays, he wouldn't go on top of an elevator. He'd probably just hack into someone's phone, and that's what pisses me off. Whereas like, how easy is hacking a phone? It's like, no, like ring your mate at the CIA.
Yeah.
I keep using, sorry, Liam Neeson I keep using you as an example because
You're a punching bag.
it's just like far-fetchedness, really. But it's just like, well, the other two are.
There is a little bit of it in here. There's the guy who's the hacker, who has to hack into their security.
Oh, it reminds me of someone gone.
But like, while we're on that of the villains, just to segue over a little bit, because all the...
You love that word.
We're going to segue everywhere. All the villains... this is something I really, really appreciate from this film.
Hans Gruber.
They're all characters.
Oh, they are, aren't they? Because one of them's got a vengeance. Like he looks German. I think the actual actor is Russian with the long blonde. They fuck all the hairstyles.
And his brother, who also has long blonde hair.
But isn't he the guy that dies in the lift? Isn't that why he's so pissed off?
He's not the guy who dies in the lift. He's the other guy, isn't he?
Well, why is he so
Isn't it
pissed
when
off
he shoots
Or is he
the
just
two
like-
guys? He throws one from out the window, and the other one's the guy's brother.
Oh, right, I see. But yeah, so
could be
you got Hans Gruber, who's the boss, and then you got this like kind of like lieutenant kind of guy with the long blonde hair who's just pissed off. He's genuinely pissed off. He's the one that comes out at the end, like kind of shooting, and then that's when what's his name gunned him down.
And you've got like one of their techie guys who's blonde with the glasses, who goes downstairs
Oh, and he's
to do some
getting
stuff
the
at the beginning.
pipes.
Yeah, he's doing the whole thing with the
Yeah,
pipes.
yeah.
The weird little scene.
He's like, no, I need to do this with the clips.
That's just to give them like a little bit of dimension to their character.
yeah.
And then you've got the hacker, who spends most of his time on
reminds
the
me of
top floor.
Boris off from Goldeneye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, all of them have just little quirks to their character that you don't need. And like, again, a lot of action films just forget to like, don't bother putting that sort of stuff in there.
We use
Just
the word
all
just
these-
punch bags. You just
all
have,
these
people
little,
who just
like-
die.
all these little like tweaks. Exactly, they're not faceless henchmen.
Yeah.
They have at least some sort of characteristic or three-dimension in some way to them to make them feel more like real people. They're characters, like they're not real people. They are more heightened caricature people, but at least they have like an identity.
Yeah. And it's him versus 10 people that I did. Oh, Senator. Did you notice at the start of the film there was a really lovely long shot? Oh, when it's going to follow his wife in the office, and he goes through all the corridors and all this, and it like goes into the office and it kind of turns around.
Oh yeah.
Because obviously, again, thinking of the technical kind of parts of the film and noticing anything, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Like, you were saying before in and it might be actually been Raging Bull. You were saying about how I was saying, with Daredevil and Luke Cage, I thought that kind of technique was only a modern one. You said it was used widely a lot in old cinema, and I think this is a good example, an '88 film, how that kind of technique was used.
There's going to be people who hate you out there for saying '88 is old cinema.
Sorry, Dad, you're a fucking old tosser. Sorry, that's a bit harsh.
I'm so sorry, Clive.
Yeah, so it seems to be an ongoing case. So sorry, Clive.
No, I mean, yeah, it's nice to see that sort of stuff in there. That's what I mean. This is when filmmaking technique got to the point of being developed to a very, very familiar style where it is now, but before it became over-reliant on some quite shallow techniques.
And it also, when you were saying about the characters before, there's some really long, drawn-out, kind of raw, is a good word to use for this, one-on-one fighting scenes.
Yeah.
Where it's just like punching the shit out of each other, blood, more blood, more blood, more blood. Towards the end, it's like maybe 2-on-1 sort of thing, but it's nice to see two people just battle it out as opposed to, oh, dead, oh, dead, oh, dead. And one's become Superman all of a sudden. You can see how fragile he is, especially at the end where he's been like fucking held up.
Yeah, and like there's the bit where...
Which is funny because it was... Sorry to interrupt, sorry.
No, it's all right. Is he in the bathroom where he's on the radio to the guy downstairs, the cop who's helping him out?
Yeah.
And he's basically saying like, goodbye, go find my wife.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm going to die. Yeah.
That was really well done. I like their whole relationship. And what I liked about their relationship as well, him and the policeman, is at the end where he's getting, he's there with his wife, he loves his wife, and towards the end she gets kidnapped. but she's helping out the building. Then he kind of like says, "Oh, hold on a second," and he goes and gives a hug to a man hug to the guy.
They see each other across, like, they haven't seen each other before.
They've just spoken over the
But they just had that look at each other,
and it's like
they both recognise one another.
Whereas again, in modern day action films, you wouldn't normally have that. It'd be like a little like that, but you still be his wife. But he's like, hold on a second, I know we've all been in loads of trouble, and I know I'm like nearly dead, and you love me and stuff. So I think he loves me. But he gives like his time to the other guy, which is nice. Now, there is another thing in this film as well, more so to do with the characters and the actual actors, and it's something I could be well wrong, but it's not something I see in movies nowadays or even older ones. There was a lot of diversity in the characters.
There is, but it's not exactly the best example of a positive representation of diversity.
What, in the sense that like the Japanese are really flush with money and the businessmen, and the Americans are the hard actiony ones.
And then you've got Argyle, who probably isn't a very good representation of like black American people.
Yeah. Is he the policeman? He is, isn't he?
No, Argyle's his limo driver.
Oh, who, right, yeah, of course he is.
He's genuinely like...
He's a great character.
He's funny, he's entertaining.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely, we got to remember this is 80s, we were stepping in the right direction.
Yeah.
We were stepping in the right direction.
So it broadens like the racial kind of like character kind of origins.
Yeah, they're still firmly planted.
Stereotypes.
Yeah, still firmly planted in stereotypes.
Yeah.
Okay. They're represented in some respect. Don't get me wrong, right? The film, I love the certain aspects of it I really love. I think it's a really well-crafted action film. There's certain big problems with it.
Like?
The first third, 2/3 of this film are quite slow.
Yes, they are.
Very slow, but like by the end, maybe you appreciate, like we're saying, he goes and actually recons information, which actually is more thoughtful. You do appreciate at the end for that. But particularly the beginning, like I love how the beginning of this film is just like they're trying to emphasize in California. So when he's in the limo, it's sun-soaked California, and like it's maybe a bit too far, but it's kind of beautiful in some respects. But that whole drive from him getting off the plane to him going to the office, and even the first like part of him being at the office, is just exposition. That's all it is. It's people spouting exposition. It's him talking about what his relationship status is like what's going on with the kids. It's him talking about where he's going, where he's from, what his job is. It's all just exposition.
What's setting the scene sort of thing.
Yeah. And the film is completely plot heavy. It's all about the plot, not about the characters. There's little bits about the characters, but for the most part, it's all plot focused.
So about the characters.
Yep.
What do you think of both John McClane and Hans Gruber and the actors behind them, so Alan Rickman and Bruce Willis, respectively? Sorry.
I think they both play them really well. I think it's probably one of the reasons this film has stood so long as a real fan favourite, because Bruce Willis is kind of, he walks that line of being charming, confident, cocky, but walks it on the right side. And
he's also one that, as mentioned previously, he's more fragile than a lot of other action heroes as well.
Yeah, and Hans Gruber, Alan Rickman,
fucking amazing.
Is really, really interesting performance. Like he's kind of interesting to watch. You're not quite sure what his motives are for the most part. Like you find out at the end, he's just in it for money. Like he says, he's just a criminal. He's just a really, really good criminal.
Yeah.
But they have, when you mention those two, they have that absolutely amazing scene where Hans Gruber has pretended to be one of the people. Oh my God,
that was brilliant. That was so well done. Yeah, like credit to Alan Rickman. Just what a fucking guy he was.
On the turn of a dime, he just changes from being like sneaking around to don't shoot me, don't shoot me, don't shoot me.
That was good.
Like you have
that was good.
The villain and the main hero sharing a cigarette across from one another.
That was good.
Yeah, wonderful. And they both
honestly they did fantastic.
And they both don't quite know who the other one is. Like he knows he's John McClane.
The good one at the end, isn't it?
But he doesn't know that he's got his wife.
I'm John McClane. Oh yeah, he doesn't, does he?
So there's this wonderful, like, constant thing throughout the whole film of not being sure about people's identity.
Yeah.
And then eventually those little pieces get unfolded.
Ah, that was brilliant. What was... the room's just suddenly gone quiet because something's happened. The aircon's gone, I think.
They probably couldn't even hear it.
I know, but it threw me off. I was like, where's that lack of sound come from? What I really liked about Hans Gruber, Alan Rickman, sorry, was the character of Gruber. It almost like kind of set up the whole premise for Snape. You know, his low voice like that.
Yeah, that's a bit Alan Rickman anyway, though, isn't it?
To some extent, but there's films where Alan Rickman plays not Alan Rickman, like Love Actually is a great Alan Rickman, and he's not totally completely like kind of Snapey and stuff like that.
Good point. It's very predominant. It is very predominant.
Yeah. And I just thought it was really cool to do that. Go on the sound a bit. It has, we were on about The Martian before with the soundtrack and the score as well. I wish I could like remember the fucking songs from this film, but it's a good example of using both the score and the soundtrack as well. I know a lot of films will use that, but I suppose since doing The Martian, I've noticed it a lot more nowadays. But yeah, so it was really interesting to see that. So,
speaking of like how, I just want to jump back a little bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of how thoughtful this film is.
What with regards to intelligence?
Yeah, there's one really clever bit I want to mention.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that they bring the getaway vehicle, the ambulance, they bring it in a truck.
Oh, is that when the truck, and it's when what's his name, Argyle sees it come out,
and like it's totally glossed over. Yeah. It's like it's not made a huge part. It's not this big reveal.
Yeah.
It's very, very casually they bring a truck and they just wheel an ambulance off the back of it. And I'm like, you clever bastards! And like it never comes to fruition. You never get to see it happen because Argyle stops it. That is just so clever. That's a really, really clever plan.
Yeah. I think the best way to summarise this film is an intelligent action film, which started off, thankfully, all the other action films. And it's a bit of a shame that they've all kind of gone downhill from there.
Yeah,
not downhill.
I'd say that's maybe a broad statement. There's been some really great action films. But you're right. Like,
there's too many ones that try to recreate Die Hard and just fail.
Yeah, they're right. And even Die Hard hasn't recreated Die Hard since.
Oh, do you remember Die
Hard 4 series has gone on.
Vengeance? He fucking jumps and oh, that's it. We used to laugh at this college. There was a guy I used to be in college with, Andy Spencer, called him anyway, and he always referenced this line, and it was fucking hilarious. And he's in the fucking car, and there's a helicopter on the other side, and in Die Hard 4, and he hits the kind of like the guard post, and it shoots up and kills a helicopter, and some guy goes, wow, you just shot a helicopter with a car, and he goes, ran out of bullets. And like we were all in college, we used to reminisce that and just go, oh, like, like proper cringe and oh.
Well, you're right, because like this was all about one guy he was scraping together the bits that he had and being clever and thoughtful about how he used them in a lot of ways. And then Die Hard just became almost like they made John McClane almost like a superhero. Yeah. They almost made him this guy who could just do crazy stuff and like hang on to the wing of a plane.
Yeah, that's it though. They did. The Die Hard 1 and 2, sorry, and potentially 3. Fucking awesome, but when it just gets on, it's a bit like, nice one.
Yeah.
And what's funny is they don't have much Christmas in this film.
No, like, actually, given that we're sitting here wearing Christmas hats, this is meant to be a Christmas episode for a Christmas film. This is not a Christmas film.
No, it's just got a Christmas theme at the end, and it's just a really good action film with a little bit of Christmas in.
Yeah,
but it's also a great film to have on at Christmas.
Maybe it sets up things tonally to be good, like as a Christmas film, but it's almost like a Shane Black film in that respect. It's just a film which is set at Christmas.
Shane Black.
Okay, so let us know what you thought of Die Hard down in the comments below, or you can hit us up on Twitter as well. Don't do it. I can see your hand twitching. You're going to point at the lower third. So you can hit us up on Twitter as well if you want to get in touch and let us know what you thought of Die Hard. Next week we will be back to a regular scheduled episode.
Yep, thankfully. Slumdog Millionaire. We're going Danny Boyle, so we're actually bringing it. I know, yeah, it's our first Danny Boyle.
Okay, again, we're bringing it back to a UK director.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't he?
But I'm very excited for Slumdog Millionaire.
Well, I've only seen it once.
Have you?
Yeah, so it'd be really nice to see it again. Now, like, I saw it once. Sorry?
I think I've only seen it twice.
But yeah, it might have actually, I don't know. But it'd be really cool watching it again to be like, holy fuck, about all this, because it's won shitloads of awards, this film. Like, fucking shitloads, isn't it?
Yeah, it's stunning. It's a recent film. So
I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to it.
If you guys want to watch along with us, do so. Enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of your time off over Christmas. New Year as well. New Year. We'll see you in 2017. Shit, 2017.
Shit.
Yeah, I know. Happy New Year. Never mind. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you later.